This is the journey to One Africa. Hey everybody, this is Mika and welcome back to SNOA. I just want to remind you, family, that please sign up for membership. This is the way that you pledge your commitment to support us here at SNOA, what we do and the vision we have for One Africa right now. You can sign up for membership. You can sign up for Patreon. You can use PayPal. You can use Super Sticker, Super Chat, Super Thanks. All those details are in the description of this video. And now let's get right into it. There's a news here about Burkina Faso expels 3 French diplomats accused of subversive activities. Burkina Faso has expelled 3 French diplomats for subversive activities, as reported by a government document and Agence France Presse. The diplomats, including 2 political advisors, were declared persona non grata and given 48 hours to leave Burkina Faso, as stated by the Foreign Ministry. The expulsions were in response to alleged subversive activities and were communicated in a note dated Tuesday to the French embassy. So I had to look at this word because, to be honest, I did not know the meaning of subversive activity. So I had to look at this word, and it means basically seeking or intended to subvert an established system or institution. So basically, it's kind of like they were included in the activities of establishing a system. And I don't know what kind of the system they're talking about here, but you know that Burkina Faso has actually departed from their relationship that they used to have with France. Basically, it was not equal relationship, so they kind of like turn away and they break that relationship with them. And the current status between Burkina Faso and France is that Burkina Faso and France have seen a deterioration in their relationship since the military regime took over Burkina Faso. Severed military ties with France in 2023, and we talked about here. Anti-French sentiment has risen due to ongoing violence caused by Islamic extremist insurgents, leading to call for stronger ties with Russia instead of France. The recent expulsion of 3 French diplomats further highlights the strained relationship between these 2 countries. But here is the reason why Burkina Faso expulsion of French diplomats. I said Burkina Faso expelled 3 French diplomats for allegedly subversive activities, declaring them persona non grata in the country within 48 hours to leave. This move comes amid deteriorating relationship between Burkina Faso and France following the severing of military ties in 2023. And French sentiment has risen due to ongoing violence caused by Islamic extremist insurgents, leading to calls for stronger ties with Russia instead. So basically, guys, the relationship between West Africa and France basically has been broken. It is broken right now. And one thing that we know for sure that these people, basically, I don't want to personalize, but I will say these policies, because policies is where everything goes wrong. These policies that France has been having towards Africa for so long time, it has not been favoring these countries. And as a result, the countries are turning away and they no longer want to have this relationship. So seeing the west part of Africa, especially Burkina Faso, turning their everything that they got to Russia and France, it tells you this one thing, that relationship is needed, partnership is required, but who is out there who is willing to have a fair relationship and equal partnership with Africa? So let me go a little bit more deeper. When you see Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, breaking out from friends, and then you see other countries in Africa having relationship with friends, then it should give you a red flag, because the policies of friends towards Africa is the same. So some of the leaders in some of the countries, they no longer want to stand with that. They want a fair relationship. But some of the leaders are not awakening yet. They're still sleeping. And Burkina Faso turning to Russia and China, it has to tell you this. And this is what's happening in the continent of Africa, right? We break this relationship, we turn to another relationship. But it has to tell you this, that we need one another. We need each other. Yes, I believe in the complete independence. If Africa will stand with everything they got, battle corruption, stand together with unity, I believe Africa is able to survive on its own. I believe that with everything I got. But it is almost impossible to survive on our own if we cannot unite together and fight and work together towards the development of our continent, the basic needs of our continent that we desperately need for our people. It is almost impossible to get that if we cannot come together. But as long as we're still delaying, we don't want to come together. And we put on the position people that are not really for the interests of the people. Like right now, we are campaigning for PLO Lumumba to be the next chair of African Union Commission, because we do believe that he understands our language. We do believe that he can get the job done. We do believe that we can hold him accountable with everything that he has been saying. And we want for this continent to be in a better place, for our next generation to live in a much better place than we are today. We believe those visions can be actualized and realized with PLO Lumumba. But unfortunately, most of the time, candidates who are worthy, candidates who are qualified to be there, are not chosen. We don't even bother to put them there. So, friends, we don't have any personal thing with the people or with the country. From what I hear about France, I love that country. We don't have any personal thing. The only personal thing that we have with you is your policies towards Africa. You have benefited from Africa's resources for so long. It reached the point where you do not know how to stand on your own without exploiting Africa. And that time, I have a good news for you, Emmanuel Macron. That time has passed. It's long overdue. This is not the time for that. This is the time for you to change your policies. If you really, truly want to engage with Africa, you need to change the policies. Otherwise, get out of this continent. Subversive activities after being kicked away from the country. Such a cheap move to do. You don't know how to move on. It reminds me of that toxic relationship that you have been in for so long, and you are trying to break out from that and be single again. But you can't, because toxicity for some reason are very addictive sometimes. That you know this is bad, you know this is not what I should engage myself with, but you cannot walk away because you've been in that situation for so long time and you don't even know how to move on your own again. And that's the relationship that Africa has been in France for a long time. And now France cannot move on. They don't know how to move on. But the time is up, brother. The time is up. You can either change your policies, look at us differently, treat us with respect, respecting our sovereignty, or you can walk away. But it seems like you cannot do the first option. So the second option is the only thing that you guys have to do to walk away. Africa has woken up. Africans are working right now, and we are not settling for anything less than our value. We have to build this continent for our next generation with everything we got, and we cannot do that if you're still here manipulating, exploiting us. We see you the way you are. We see what you've been doing, and we say no more to that anymore. Pack and go. It's the time for you to leave. And that's not only in Burkina Faso, but through the entire continent of Africa. Pack and go. It's a time for you to go. It's long overdue. And it's a time for you to give up. And I know you're very stubborn. I know you're not gonna quit. I know you're not gonna give up policies. The same thing I'll talk about United States policy toward Africa. The only time that Africa had actually break from United States was during the Trump regime. That was the time that Africa had break. Some leaders, they went to United States and presidents say, you know what, you don't have to come here. Stay in your country, work for your country. Perhaps America needs another Trump again. But you know, whatever the case, they know their issues. But the thing is, I support what Burkina Faso is doing. And this is that time for Africa to break out from that toxic relationships. So for the rest of the countries that are still engaging yourself with friends, please double check your policies. Because the one who are affected the most are the innocent people, not the government, not the leaders, but the ordinary folk. And we cannot rebuild this continent if we keep being exploited by external powers like France, United States, China, Russia, and anyone out there. Because everybody's after their own benefits. And we cannot close our eyes for a second. We need to stay awake. We need to fight for the unity of Africa, and we need to fight for our children, for the next generation, because they are worth the fighting for. I don't have kids yet, but they are worth the fighting for. When the time comes and God allows it for me to bring my kids into this world, then I want them to be in a better place than the place I am today. God is good. God bless you. Let's keep praying for this continent. Let's keep advocating for this continent. Let's keep standing for our families. God bless you.